All right, folks, let's take a quick look at the markets today. The markets are a dumping. We're down to $19,000 Bitcoin, barely holding on. We're probably going to see $17,000, $18,000 Bitcoin by the end of the week at this rate. Ethereum barely hanging on to $1,000. BNB basically losing all of its gains for the last week, approaching $200. Cardano at 43 cents. I think a 38 to 35 cent Cardano is coming, especially without that Vasco hard fork that got delayed. Sorry, Cardano, I'm looking to buy you at 35 to 30, maybe even 25 cents. I already bought a bunch of you at 38 cents. I want to see you dump further, and that's what's going to happen. Solana losing pretty much all of its gains. Solana's a good pumper, but it also dumps hard. And even more interesting, Polymatic. What have I been saying, folks? Polymatic will dump right back down to previous levels, and that's the time to buy. Polymatic basically almost lost all of its gains from the last couple weeks. I will start my buy-in for Polymatic at 40 cents, and I will be buying all the way down to 25 cents. Polymatic is on my radar 100%. That's what I'm focused in on right now. And also Theta. We did a Theta trade last week. We bought our Theta at 98 cents, and we sold it at $1.52. Watch my video from last week. We had about a 50% gain. Once Theta hits $1 again, we're going to buy some more, and we're going to sell it again at $1.50 and do another 50% gain. And that's how we're trading our Theta. We have our long-term bag of Theta that we're not selling for 2 or 3 years, and we have our trading bag on KuCoin. Got to play this market smart, folks. Point is, we're dumping. The market's not bullish. We're going to go lower. I would say bottom $10,000 to $15,000 for Bitcoin. I think possibly, all right, so I'm thinking maybe there's a 40% chance that $17,000 was the bottom for Bitcoin, but I really think we're probably going to hit that. I think that $15,000 Bitcoin is inevitable. Possibly a flash crash down to 10,000. Anything can happen, folks. You know, this is the wild, wild west, but I'd say look out for a $15,000 Bitcoin. Be prepared to buy. For me, I'm buying a half a Bitcoin at 15,000, and I'm also looking to accumulate my Polymatic at really below 40 cents. Now, I quickly want to talk about BlockFi. Interesting article. BlockFi was worth about $5 billion last year. Now it's worth less than $500 million. As Bitcoin continues to plummet, these lending platforms are going to be worth less and less. When Bitcoin hits $15,000, I wouldn't be surprised if withdrawals get cut off on BlockFi and you're going to lose all your money. It's not too late, folks, to get off these lending platforms, especially BlockFi. I mean, please, I implore you, if you're on BlockFi, get off. And I'm also going to tell you, I've been saying this for a while, watch out for wolves in sheep's clothing. Cryptos are us. He does put out educational, informative videos. He's still promoting BlockFi. They probably pay him a couple $1,000s a year to promote BlockFi. And George, I guarantee you, has no money on BlockFi. He knows it's a scam. He knows all of his fathers are going to lose money, but he's addicted to that money. He's already a multimillionaire, folks. This is a multimillionaire, but he still has to make that money promoting you BlockFi. These people do not have your best interest in mind. They're just trying to basically get you to view their videos and basically get you wrecked. It's all, the proof is in the pudding, folks. You don't have to be a genius. When you see what's down here, you see the garbage he's promoting. I Trust Capital, BlockFi. You have to realize, folks, they're not hiding it. They're trying to get you wrecked at this point. These are the kind of people that would sell their mother to the devil for like $100,000. Like, they just don't care. How can you still in good conscience, when you're one of the biggest YouTubers, be promoting BlockFi to people when you know it's going to go to zero? You know people are going to lose all their money on BlockFi as long as Bitcoin continues to tumble. BlockFi will be the next Celsius. They're already pretty much bankrupt. They're already getting bailouts from Sam Bankman-Fried. Cryptos are us. You should be ashamed of yourself. And I don't know how people aren't calling you out on this, but I'm going to call you out on it. So anyway, folks, back to the markets. Bitcoin hanging out about 19,000. We did hit 18,600 earlier. We're going to be dumping. We might get a dead cat bounce, but I think that $17,000 to $15,000 Bitcoin is inevitable. So folks, just have that money on the side. Be ready to buy. Get out of these risky lending protocols. Get out of risky exchanges. You want to keep some money on Coinbase or Binance.us with your two-factor authentication. That's cool. But make sure you have most of your funds on a hardware wallet or a wallet on your phone where you control the keys. It's a crazy time right now. It's a dangerous time. People are losing money left and right in crypto. These exchanges are going down left and right, even big exchanges, and you just don't know which one's going to be next. So I would split it up. For me, I have 80% of my money locked away, and I have 20% that I just play around with on the exchanges. If you're playing around on like KuCoin or something like that, KuCoin is something where you basically put your coins on, you do the trade, and then you get out. You don't keep things on KuCoin. That is basically an exchange based out of like the Cayman Islands or something like that. If you want to keep your money on an exchange, do like Binance.us or Coinbase. At least they're regulated by the federal government and they're based out of the United States. You don't want to keep your money on these foreign exchanges. But for the most part, you want to keep your money on a hardware wallet or on your phone. Folks, when it gets a lot worse, when Bitcoin drops down to $15,000 or even $10,000, you're going to see mass liquidations of all these funds. Exchanges are going to go under, or if they don't go under, minimally, they're going to freeze your funds for a long period of time. And you just don't want to be, you don't want to be stuck holding the bag. Like I've been saying about BlockFi, I don't know how people are still using BlockFi. It makes no sense to me. Shame on George for Cryptos R Us and all the other YouTubers still promoting BlockFi. They should be ashamed of themselves. This right here is basically like, how can you trust somebody that's basically promoting you something that they know is going to go to zero? And like I said, I think if you dig into it, he doesn't have any money on BlockFi. And keep in mind, folks, he was also promoting you guys UST and Anchor Protocol. Now, supposedly he lost money on Anchor Protocol. That's great, but he was still promoting it to you. These guys, Cryptos R Us, Crypto Banter, BitBoy, they all led you right into the gutter. Yeah, they put out entertaining videos. You can get some education from them. But remember, folks, their interest is to sell you out and make money and sell your information to the sponsorships. They could care less what happens to you. They'll promote you a scam in a second if it makes them money. So take everything they say with a grain of salt. I've been following these guys for the last 5 or 6 years, and I realize that. But it takes a lot of balls to still be promoting BlockFi to people. That's all I got to say. It actually takes a borderline evil person to do that. And I've been an investigator for 20 years. I don't know how you can just blatantly be promoting something that you know is probably going to crash as Bitcoin crashes, and you know all your followers are going to lose all their money. All George has to do is come out and say, hey, look, I'm promoting BlockFi, but now I don't feel comfortable with it. They were my sponsor, but I would get your money off there. It's your risk if you want to keep your money on there, but they might go the same way as Celsius, so I'm no longer going to take their sponsorship money. He won't do that. Even though he's already a multimillionaire, he still won't do that because he wants that little bit of money. It's a sickness, folks. It's an absolute sickness, so be careful out there. Watch out for the wolves in sheep's clothing who are pretending to be looking out for your best interest, but are blatantly leading you right into the gutter with shit like BlockFi.